Hey, this is Open Mat MMA. We're doing a breakdown of UFC Paris. I'm excited about the card. Let's start the night off with Sean Bannon versus Sam Hughes. I'm going Sam Hughes in that fight. Sean Bannon is okay. I don't think she's at the level of Sam Hughes, meaning she can't get multiple wins inside the UFC. Sam Hughes a lot better wrestling, if you ask me. It's not really much that you want to see from both of these girls. That screams world beater. But women's MMA it's interesting. The matchups is interesting. And I think this matchup favors Sam Hughes because she's winning there and beat younger prospects with her wrestling. And I think she could do that again in this fight. Number two, we got Renat and Andres Gustafsson. I am choosing Renat. Now, at first I had Renat and I went to Gustafsson, but go back and forth. I went back and forth a lot in this fight. It's a very even fight. First off, Gustafsson, and what worries me about him against Renat, he's very strong in the clinch. He always moves forward. He got okay takedown defense, and he's very strong, sturdy, and he's just like the Terminator. But what I like about Renat is his wrestling. If you get a guy that's marching forward at you, a guy like it's easier for a guy like Renat to get the takedown than the guy going backwards because Gustafson don't really care about he don't care about the distance really. He's more trying to go in there, trying to get the win. He's trying to hurt you. He does stall out in the clinch a lot, which needs to be talked about. He had a good fight against Chaos Williams. He's in the clinch. He wasn't stalling out. He's actually landing some good clinch knees and stuff and elbows. But in some of his other fights, he has stalled out in the clinch. Against Renat, I don't think that's going to happen. Renat definitely has the edge. Renat cardio is a problem. We haven't seen him almost get finished, but we definitely seen his cardio fail him in some instances. But end of the day, Renat's tough. I went back and forth on this fight. I'm going with my original pick, Renat. Next, we have Brad Tavares and Robert Brzett. So I actually got Robert the underdog here. Some things I like about Brad Tavares is obviously his striking is good. He's a veteran, can mix it up. All that, yes. Brad Tavares, the the idea of Brad Tavares is better than the fighter at this point of his career. He hasn't gotten a finish in nearly 7 years. He does have the grappling edge and he's stronger, but the question is, will Tavares use the grappling? That's the question more than anything. I haven't seen indication that he will use the grappling unless he's forced to. Brad Tavares do have a good 1-2, no doubt about it. Both of these guys are older fighters, so I would not put any money on this unless you're crazy. But some of y'all are crazy. Brad Tavares is the big thing. He gets hit going backwards. Like he tries to exit the pocket and he gets hit. Like shots break through his guard. It happens, and I don't like seeing that from Brad Tavares. Robert hits very hard. He looked fast in his debut, and you want to see the guys look fast because at this older age, the speed is the first thing that goes usually, and he still possesses speed, so that makes me think he's going to win. He really couldn't find the mark though in his debut, which is another problem. But second fight in the UFC, hopefully he's a little bit better than he was his first fight. Like I said, I don't trust neither one because they're older. I do think Robert has more finishing potential and a better boxing. And he does set up his power shots with body shots, his power shots to the head with body shots, which is something that's good. So that's why I'm choosing him in this fight. Next fight tonight, we got Sam Patterson and Trey Waters. This is another really close fight. Two really tall guys. They never match the tall guys over shorter guys. They do sometimes, but they like putting tall guys on tall guys. And Sam Patterson's a tall guy. Trey Waters is a tall guy. But I got Sam Patterson. So look, Trey Waters, he got really good He not gonna say really good. He got okay takedown defense. Sometimes he gets taken down. Sometimes he gets stuck on the bottom. He relies on his height a lot for his defense. He don't like when you fight another tall guy like Sam Patterson, who's tall as you and who's y'all got the same reach. I think it's 1 inch reach advantage for maybe Waters. But when y'all same height and got the same reach, you can't rely on your height no more, man. So that's the one thing I don't like about Trey Waters. But he does look to counter and pull, which is very good because he can catch Sam Patterson if he gets sloppy. But Trey Waters has his hands down when he does it. And like I said, you're not going against a guy who can't hit you. You're not going to be in the range where you can hit him and he can't hit you. That's not this fight. Normally it is. He gets hit by these shorter guys. Bafine really touched him up. Bafine is not bad, but we seen Bafine. We seen him not be that good in the UFC. He is a good prospect though. But Sam Patterson, he does keep his hands up a lot more, which is something you want to see when you're choosing a fighter. He does get hit up the middle. So that's why Trey Waters can capitalize and can do well in this fight. I think the biggest differential in the two is Patterson has way better grappling and he counters a little better. And he doesn't counter with his hands down. Now, will he use his grappling? As yet, we'll see. We'll see. But if he does use his grappling, it could be a way easier fight. And one thing I don't like about Patterson, he reacts to feints a lot. But let's see if Trey Waters set up his stuff. And let's see how well he does, because that would determine who's gonna, be victorious in this fight. Fight number 5, we got a short notice. I think Harry Hardwick versus K Fernandez. I'm going Fernandez. So with Hardwick, he does have good grappling. He is scrappy, but I wasn't too impressed with him, honestly. Like I know he's a big guy in the UK. I know a lot of people love him, but it's not. It didn't translate. I don't know if it would translate to the UFC. Honestly, maybe it does, and maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see that. And maybe it does. It's not this fight because Fernandez is actually a decent fighter. Ziam was a much better fighter, so Fernandez got a way easier fight. Fernandez got sharp kicks. He got really good distance management. He uses kicks on all 3 levels: leg, head, and body. He's when he does get taken down, but he's active on his back, which is something you want to see. Now, let's see if he wants to get up because sometimes he is content with the bottom. But thankfully, he's fighting Harry Hardwick, so he's not fighting Ziam. I think Ziam is a lot better grappler than Hardwick is. So he got a little easier matchup, and he should be able to get it done. Let's just see if let's see if everything works out like it's supposed to on paper. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the fight. But I do got confidence in Fernandez beating Hardwick. Next, we got the big boys. We got the heavyweights. We got Marcin Tybura and Ante Delija. Delija. Sorry. So I'm going with Delija. Now look, it's a close fight. I think the odds were even. I picked these fights before the odds was out early, but I don't look at the odds after I pick these fights. But Tybura, he's really good. I like to say he's the best of the blobs. Now he got good wrestling, a good top game. Can he use it against Delija? I don't think so. I think Delija has good enough wrestling for it to be a stand up fight. And in a stand up fight, I would choose Delija to win. That's just the reality of it. Now, um, it, Tabori had a close fight with Mitch Parkin, and people thought Parkin won the fight. I remember that it was a robbery. I did rewatch it, and I concluded that he's the best of the blobs. And yeah, Taboria does do some things that's predictable, like he backs up a lot and then explodes, which is something you don't want to do against these higher level fighters. Delija hasn't been the most active, but he did do good things in the PFL. But and honestly, you could be a guy like Romanov who's good in the UFC and go to PFL and be a blob and not be good. Taboria is at the blob level, but he's not in the PFL. He's not in his PFL arc. Maybe that's going to come next if he loses his next fight. So Next fight, we got Omar Sy and Brendson Ribeiro. I'm going Omar Sy. I know he lost to Minifield. It was a competitive fight, but he lost nonetheless. I think Ribeiro is not on the level of Minifield at all, if you ask me. And also, this is more of a tailor-made matchup for Sai, especially coming off a loss. I like this matchmaking because you gotta let a young guy get his confidence back. But Sai has good leg kicks, and I think he will be able to wrestle this fight. He just needs to go out there and do it because if he doesn't wrestle, then he might have some trouble. He uses his jab to set up his right hand, which is something you want to see technically. But he needs to set up the takedowns too. You need to like make it a mixed martial arts fight, especially with Sai and the way he lost last time. He has a bit of a he had an easier path to victory this time. He got his wrestling will work in his fight if he decides to use it. Um, he okay. So I'm be real with that Omar Sy fight. He really didn't do much against Minifield. Like it wasn't like the most exciting fight. He kind of just let the fight slip from him because he couldn't mix it up super well, and so he needs to fix that. With Brendson Ribeiro, he got good straight hands, and he can't touch. He couldn't hit anybody. And he kicks at range pretty decent, but he got KO'd like 2 months ago, 3 months ago now, and he's open on the feet when he's fighting. So it's like on paper this should be no problems. This should be a side win. We just got to see it happen. That's one of those. That's one. This the type of fight this is. Hopefully it happens, but we'll see. So we're going with the next fight. We got William Gomis and Robert Ruchula. Ruchala. So I got Gomis. I actually think they fight very, very similar. They both fight on the back foot, on the outskirts of the cage, clinches sometimes and wrestle sometimes and throw kicks. I think they fight relatively the same. I'm not going to pick the debut guy against a guy like Gomez who makes every fight competitive, and I think this is a little bit lower of a competition for Gomez, and I think he can capitalize on that. Gomez do sorry, Gomez he does have good body kicks, and he has good body kicks, good scrambles. He can end up on top with the scrambles, which is something I like to see. Don't like to see him back up a lot. And he can kind of stall on the feet too. Don't like to see either of those things. Robert Rachula, he fights. He kind of does the same thing. Fights on the back foot. He kicks all three levels: leg, body, head. Like I said, they're very similar fighters. Fighters. I think the difference is the UFC experience for Gomes in the grappling. I think Gomez can find himself in top positions more often, so that's why I'm choosing Gomez. But it is a very close fight because they fight the same. It could be one of those things where it's a split decision either way because they just don't do enough activity for it to be a definitive winner. That's something I don't like about the both of them. So I'll be honest on that. In the next fight, we got Patricio Pitbull versus Losene Keita. I'm going with Keita. So I do want to say this. On my streams, I do talk about who I'm choosing before. It's weird to me that a lot of guys are saying you can't choose Keita because he's a new up and coming. He's a debutant, which I do understand because I just literally last fight I said something about debuting. But wasn't Pitbull the same guy y'all saying was washed up when he lost to Yair Rodriguez? He beat Dan Ige, who's flat on his feet, who's old, doesn't move nearly as well as he did when he was young, and now all of a sudden Pitbull is back. Don't understand it. Not it's a weird double standards. Weird, weird, weird. But nonetheless, I'm going with Keita. I think Pitbull. I think all the same things against Pitbull applies. He's still older. He's still flat on his feet. He does have power. He does actually have the better grappling. Keita does sometimes get taken down, but he does scramble to get back to his feet, which I like to see. He is a veteran. He got the fight experience, but against Dan Ige, he hurt Dan Ige with one exchange. Other than that, he was trying to wrestle him. Half the time he couldn't wrestle him. The other half he was just kind of stinking the fight up. And against a guy like Keita, who is way faster than him, who's in his prime, who has the cardio. He's been in 5 round fights. I know y'all probably don't know that, but he's been in 5 round fights. He's finished guys in the fourth round before. I think Keita will be okay. Keita's 11 years younger. He's very fast. And I think that's the main reason I'm picking him because the explosion that Keita has and how fast he is compared to Pitbull at Pitbull's age. Now, if Pitbull go out there and become a world champion after beating all these guys, and I'm wrong about him every time, that would be crazy. But eventually, he's going to get into a fight like this, where it's a younger guy, a faster guy, not a guy that's near his age that he might not be able to beat. Now he can beat him with his wrestling and his experience, but I just think Keita's hard to hold down and he does look to get back to his feet. So I think, and also Keita does have good timing. He does have one punch KO power, which is like something that should be talked about because he's very powerful. He can knock you out with literally one punch. He sets up nice going to the body. He loved on that two to the body. He loved on his kicks. Keita, I think Keita's a good all around fighter, and I think he'd do good in the UFC. I don't know what's his cap at, but I do think he will do good in the UFC nonetheless. All right. So this next fight, we got Axel Sola, Mr. Adult Beverage, sounding name, and Rhys McKee. I have some guys from Ireland on my chat who like Rhys McKee. I know they're a little biased. You know who you are. But I'm going with Sola. Now, another debutant. I think there's 3 fights in a row with debuts. I chose one debut, didn't choose the other one. I'm choosing another debut. Rhys McKee is not UFC level, in my opinion. He's 1-4. Did he fight Hamza Chimaev? Yes. Did he beat a guy last fight that looked like a bag of milk. No offense. I apologize. I have to be funny sometimes. But on a serious note, Rhys McKee is longer. He's taller. He got the UFC 5 fight experience. His takedown defense is not that good. He relies on his height difference a lot, which is okay if you're in a striking match, but he's not going to be in it. He's going to be good when he's got that will mix it up. Um, and my problem with Reese McKee, he got taken down by a 40-year-old when I watched him on film, and I can't choose him. If you get taken down by a 40-year-old, I'm not going to choose you. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'll be wrong about this pick. He got taken down by a 40-year-old, but he's tough nonetheless. Reese McKee is tough. Sola, he has good footwork, and he goes in and out really well. He's a lot. He it's a lot of upside on Sola, and he can wrestle, and his jiu-jitsu is good, and that's the reason why I'm choosing him against Reese McKee. Fight shouldn't be on the main card. Should have been in the prelims, but here we are. It's okay though. It's not. It's not the end of the world. So next fight, we got Bolaji Oki versus Mason Jones. I'm going with Mason Jones. So look, Oki striking looks his striking's okay sometimes. Throws hard with his hands down sometimes. That's what he did against Chris Duncan, which I don't know why he did that. I think he was trying to be a little more aggressive and it didn't work in his favor. But when he's fighting the warehouse, aka the Apex, he fought a lot better on the feet, uses his jab a lot, fought behind his jab, but then he didn't throw nothing. So I don't understand his striking. Um, he can land a jab, but like it's not a jab that's gonna hurt you. But he's not landing anything after. He's not setting up for anything. And then when he had the chance against Chris Duncan to throw stuff, he was just throwing stuff crazy, which is insane. He tries to walk down his opponents to overwhelm him and just be physically intimidating and opposing to him. And I don't like that. You can't do that against Mason Jones. His takedown, and then last thing about Oki, his takedown defense is iffy. He needs to wash his head. He did get choked up by Chris Duncan, but in his other fights, I think against Cabana, he wrestled up into a guillotine, but the round was over. So that makes me think he does it a lot of times, that he just doesn't pay for it in his gym. So against Mason Jones got good jiu-jitsu. He got good wrestling. He can make you pay for it if you wrestle up with your head in a bad position. Mason Jones fought really good competition aside from Jeremy Stevens in the UFC. He looked good against everybody. Looked good against David Onama. Had his moments against Mike Davis. Fought really tough people. Fought I think Kelvin, his name is, I forgot. But he fought good competition, and he did lose some, but he did win some too. Cage Warriors won a lot. He won outside the UFC, got back in the UFC and won, so that's something you want to see. I think he got better. I think that experience did help him a lot. So and I like Mason Jones' calf kicks. He got spinning kicks. He got kicks. He got all types of kicks. I think he's a Taekwondo dude. Got really good wrestling. I think he mixes it up well. Sometimes he get in dog fights, so let's see if his fight IQ is a little better. I don't like that part about him, but I am going with Mason Jones. He is hittable on the feet. Don't like that. Um, but I'm choosing him. So yeah. Now we got our co-main. We got Benoit Saint-Denis against Ruffy. I'm going with Ruffy. I would like to say BSD has a legitimate chance. BSD is not to be slept on. The problem with BSD, if you're watching this, you can land a punch on BSD. The problem is he gonna walk through it and knock you out or tap you out. It can't do that against Ruffy. I don't think so. I don't think you could land. I don't think you could take 80 punches against Ruffy or 60 punches against Ruffy. Hell, even 20 punches against Ruffy is cutting it, especially if you make the weight at 155. Like we seen one guy take his shots, but that was at 65. The guy missed weight. Still a G, still took the fight. But BSC just get hit too much by people we shouldn't get hit by. I can't choose. I can't even begin to think about choosing them because of that reason. Can he win? Absolutely. And did struggle on the bottom of the contender series, but Ruffy rallied back and won the fight and finished the guy. So Ruffy is tough. Ruffy's a lot tougher than people give him credit for. Striking is good. He got his hands down. Might hurt him in the later stages of his career. But right now, this is a winnable fight for him. BSD, like I said, if you right there watching this, you probably could punch BSD in the face. He's gonna punch you more and beat you up and tap you out or knock you out. But you could punch him, and if you get him in there with Ruffy, and Ruffy could punch him, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And for the main event, we got Imavov versus Borralho. I'm going with Imavov. I've been on him the whole time. I do like the fight nerves. I do like Borralho. He is good all around. I think I think Imavov got crispier kickboxing, and he got the finisher potential. Now it's a close fight. It's like 51. It's like 50-50. I'm be real. So when I'm picking this fight, it's not like I'm saying it's a lock. I'm not saying that. Bahio definitely can win. He can mix it up. He can use his grappling, take down Imavov, hold him against the fence, sting up the fight, win it. But Imavov, he gets better every fight with a takedown defense. His takedown defense is not atrocious, but it's not the best. But he does get back to his feet, and he is pretty consistent. Now it is some red flags with Imavov. I wouldn't recommend betting it necessarily, but I'm choosing him because his kickboxing, his composure, his meaning like he's always in the stance, so he always where he should be in the kickboxing range. Sometimes Bahayo, he can't get hit. He hasn't won against like really elite strikers. I think Imavov be the most elite striker he went against, and Imavov like he leveled up every single fight. And that's something you want to see. Bahayo can win. It's just I'm not choosing them. I'm choosing Imavov, so don't hate me for it. But that's our UFC Paris fight predictions. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know who you think the locks of the night are.